We can only imagine about 8,000 miles away there are some well-prepared members of the U.S. military and Iraq military waiting to talk to the president if they can just solve those infernal power problems.
If you have the microphone and he follows up with a question to you, you just, no matter who has it, Captain Pratt, if you have the microphone and the president hears something and he wants more information, you just keep that microphone and talk to the president.
Okay.
All right, but if he gives us a question that's not something that we've scripted, Captain Kennedy, you're going to have that mic, and that's your chance to impress us all.
Okay.
which won't be a problem for you. All right, here we go. It's an honor to be speaking with the members of the 42nd Infantry Division and Task Force Liberty, who are stationed in Tikrit to provide security for Saturday's constitutional elections. The president will continue to speak, and then he'll go into his questions. I'm interested in
Good morning, Mr. President. Oh, sorry. I thought you. Okay.
All right, here we go. I'm interested in how your pre-election operations are going. Can you give me a quick update on what you've been doing for the last couple of weeks?
Good morning, Mr. President. My name is Captain Brent Kennedy from Maple Valley, Washington, here in Tikrit. To my right is Iraqi Sergeant Major Akil from the 5th Iraqi Army Division. We are working in northern Iraq right now with an operation what we call Operation Saratoga. It's a surge of operations to prepare for the referendum. We are currently securing 1,250 polling sites throughout northern Iraq.
Okay, folks, this is Allison. Let's take our places, please.
Look at live pictures. Apparently they have the signal there. It's become a bit of an irrelevancy to them as far as their daily life goes there. That's not the kind of message we're going to get from the White House.
Well, no. Doubts continue to grow in the United States about the wisdom of the whole venture. Anything that is not a crushing defeat possibly will be characterized here as a step in the right direction by the administration.
This is controversial, not because President Bush was asking the 10 soldiers from the 42nd Infantry Division questions. We saw that all last year during the presidential campaign in a number of what they called conversations with the community, where President Bush would ask people various questions depending on what the topic of the day was from the Bush administration standpoint. What is controversial and what dominated today's White House press briefing with Press Secretary Scott McClellan is whether or not these soldiers were coached on their answers before the president came into that briefing room to conduct the video conference. Let's listen to one exchange between one of the reporters at today's briefing and Press Secretary Scott McClellan.
One of my most solemn duties.
Why did the administration feel it was necessary to coach the soldiers that the president talked to this morning in Iraq?
I'm sorry, I don't know what you're suggesting.
They discussed the questions ahead of time. They were told exactly what the president would ask, and they were coached in terms of who would answer what question and how they would pass the microphone.
I'm sorry, sir. Are you suggesting that what our troops were saying was not sincere, or that what they said was not their own thoughts?
Nothing at all. I'm just asking why it was necessary to coach them.
Now, there wasn't any resolution to the back and forth which continued after Tom Rahm, who is one of the Associated Press reporters, put the question to McClellan this afternoon. Now, another thing that the president did make certain to stress during the video conference was the support that Americans have for U.S. forces who are stationed in Iraq. But Alex, if you take a look at the latest NBC News Wall Street Journal poll, there was a question posed to those who were surveyed about whether or not U.S. forces should stay in Iraq once this weekend's constitutional referendum has been conducted. You see the results there on the screen. 34% say that the U.S. should maintain troop levels, current troop levels, I should say, in Iraq after this weekend's vote. 58%, nearly two-thirds, suggest that troop levels should be cut and those forces brought back home, we presume. This is, of course, a very controversial topic. The U.S. has insisted it's not drawing down U.S. forces until Iraq says that it can handle its internal security. So another question of dispute for the Bush administration.
To point out that this appearance is also probably to be considered part of a political strategy to try and shore up dwindling support in the United States for the entire Iraq venture.
And how is this group chosen in order to brief the president? Well, they picked, obviously they picked a group of 10 representative soldiers, and, you know, obviously this format was not a format for a frank exchange of views. This wasn't a gripe session for the soldiers.
How does a group like this get organized? I mean, are they hand-picked to talk to the president? Is this a bit like preaching to the choir?
Well, it's a lot like preaching to the choir. Excuse me, and it's the commander-in-chief of the choir doing the preaching. They, of course, are organized as a military unit, and somebody decided that these would be the best people to sit down and participate in this event with the president.